G
Okay.
dash
It is,
059
we are recording, everybody.
Okay.
262.
Because of these overhead
sir.
lights, it does pick up a little haze. If I put on the stage lights, it won't, but,
Not a single wrinkle will be seen.
There you go.
I wish. For me.
but if you see that haze, it's because the overhead lights glaring in the
Alright.
lens.
Well, good. Yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to talk about. We're gonna get that. We'll get that handled, figured out. I tried to get on there and didn't know what I was doing and didn't succeed, obviously. So, and then I want to thank Rick for getting the congratulations out.
Yep.
I haven't seen it yet. You said it was online, right? For Chuck.
Did we get a thank you back from Chuck?
I
on
thought
that?
I sent
I'm
an
not sure he'll
email.
see it yet till he gets the program. It's in the
I
program.
thought I got a thank you back from Chuck on that.
He said
No.
thank you, I think, because Rick, he mentioned something to us about it, and then Rick said something about we were doing it, or,
Yeah, because
We got a,
he's not going to see it till he
what
gets
we
there.
got was, we got an email, we, being Michael and I, from Chuck. And the email was, in so many words, it's traditional for rings to do this, to congratulate a member who ascends to this high job. In other words, he was trying to give us, in a subtle way,
yeah.
a way that we wouldn't embarrass ourselves by not promoting in the program his presidency since he's a member of the
Yeah.
Ring. He didn't say it, but that
That's
was
how
what
I
it
took
led
it.
to, right? And my response to him is I'm on it, but no, he has not seen
Well,
that, but I thought I
he's
sent an
probably
email out
pretty
to
well
all the
tied up
board with that, double check. If not, I'll send you another one, it's just a real simple little thing.
He was a member of
Well, I think
Milwaukee,
I
too.
saw that, but I didn't see it in, as a program thing. I
No,
didn't know if they'll
asked-
send you a
I
copy
asked
of that.
Dawn to send me a copy, and actually see if she can send us a couple of
those
actually
stripes, those
copies of the
Oh, that would
program.
be
Screws across the center.
Yeah, so,
Or
then you were ahead of
You
that.
slide across.
He
you
was
got all
put
three
that
parts.
out, and you were already
Yeah.
on
It's
there,
there,
so.
it's really neat.
But anyways, I just,
Only I haven't spent enough time.
yes, sir.
I'm sorry, is there any months like how far back do we want to delete recordings? Or how many recordings do we want to save?
Just the last 2 or 3.
Yeah, just leave the last two or three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just for your purposes, maybe.
Right,
Yeah. Oh, Scott.
Can you make it automatically? Just
Okay, good. So,
There is a way to do it, I gotta
Okay,
find it.
that's
But
but yeah, thanks for getting
thanks
that
for your
out.
help, Scott.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting that out, and thank you, Scott, for doing that.
We save up all our problems till you come, Scott. So then we
it's okay, I'm,
hit you with them.
Man, oh man, I tell you. Man walks in and everything just
That's
right,
problem one.
comes
We'll-
right together.
We'll save problem 2, 3, and 4 till later.
Excellent. So, good. Well, who would like to go first tonight? Rick's gonna go.
Okay.
He'll be up first.
I had to change my mind because I was telling Marv when he was coming in that I needed an honest, handsome man to help me. And he's
There's-
still an
and-
honest,
And we
handsome
couldn't
man.
find one in the room, could we?
But
Honest.
He's an honest,
I might
handsome
have a
man, but
different
he didn't
requirement.
say
Not a
yes.
handsome, but no,
Try
no
this.
honesty in this room.
So we'll record to the cloud, right?
yeah, if,
yes.
well,
Recording in progress.
no, it is.
Well, you don't need that recorded if you're doing it.
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
Is it okay if I move this?
I'm doing it both.
Oh, don't both.
Just to run it.
You got it backwards though.
Got it backwards.
Oh, okay. Pass backwards, huh?
Who's this
Yeah,
test?
it is actually. If you look at the front and back, you'll know why.
Yeah. There.
Okay,
What's that?
how's that?
Good place
You
for
gonna put a, like
Stefan
a
behind
pull-out
yours there.
Cervanti on there, Monty?
Huh?
You gonna put like a pull-out Cervanti underneath there?
We've thought about it.
It's pretty tight. That'd be a good idea.
Or even when it
Yeah.
hangs.
You'd never see
Because you
it.
Here's
can't see it.
No,
It's
you
pretty
wouldn't.
tight sitting under it. You could
My
put
stuff here.
cloth, black cloth around the inside, you know?
Yeah, we have thought about it.
Yeah.
Well, these are neat.
They're
Those
marked.
smart cards.
These are
That's what
neat.
They're marked.
They are marked? Oh,
Figure it out.
Frankly though, you did such a
When you
nice
do
job
that,
on them.
Yeah,
You need
we
to
can
modify
We
it.
could
Huh?
add, we could add to this.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think I would modify that unless somebody like you did it, so it was nice.
I wanted to show
Yeah.
this trick,
you know what? you might
'Cause I
use
really
it,
liked
you
it
tell
when I
looks
saw
to
it.
me like right up here in the
I don't
corner.
and I
want
thought, the first time I saw it, I thought,
Now,
gee,
it's not really moving.
that's really kind of interesting,
What do you think?
because it's like, you know, a Rubik's Cube trick. But this trick's a little different, so I've worked out some of the technical points of this. I haven't got it to where I've got my presentation scripted out yet. I just wanted to get a reaction and see what you guys think of this. And as I mentioned before, I was gonna have Marvis this because I needed a handsome, honest man. But I think I'll use you instead, Michael. Not saying that you're not
Boy, that's
honest.
really a
Yes.
step down.
There's a reason for it, and it's because you've got a pocket here.
Okay.
So all I'm gonna ask you to do is unbutton your left pocket, and we're gonna put something in there in just a minute, and you'll see exactly what I mean. When you look at this, it looks like a Rubik's Cube, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys just pass that around so everybody can take a look at it. You'll notice that there's,
Looks like one after
on
I solved
each
it.
side, there's
Still mixed
four cubes on each side, with different colors and different numbers. And what's interesting about that, unlike a Rubik's Cube, which is just colors, this one has a combination of colors and numbers. And you can turn these any way you want, in any combination. And as an example, I'm just turning this, and you'll notice when you do this that if you add these numbers up, they'll total 1, 3, 4, 2 is 6, and 6 is 12, right?
Yes.
If I were to change in just one more, that would change to 3, and 6 is 9, or is 13, and that's 15. Just one little number makes a big difference, right? So Daryl, what I'm going to do is have you come up. Just come up. And I'd like you to stand right here to my right, if you would please.
You didn't want a handsome guy?
Another handsome guy.
Another.
Take this cube, and I'd like you to twist it and turn it in any way you can, knowing that just with these combinations of colors and these numbers and these four cubes on any side, that there's over 2,200,000 different combinations
Oh.
just with what you see here, unlike a larger Rubik's Cube. That's tremendous. Whenever you want, just stop whenever you want, and then just put the cube down on the mat.
But you'll see it.
It doesn't matter. But what I don't see is the number that's underneath. That's what's important. And you're right. You can see the number on the top and each of the four sides, just like that. But you can't see the number on the bottom. No one can.
Correct.
Right? So for right now, you're the only one who's going to see the number. I'm going to step up. Look at the number on the bottom of the cube. Don't let anyone else see it. Don't show it to the camera.
Add them together. Is what
Add all the numbers on the bottom together.
In my mind?
Yeah, add them in your mind.
Didn't know there'd be math.
It's gonna be a
There's
job.
no nines.
You can borrow
There's
my
like
calculator if you
six.
want.
And when you've done that, let me know and put them back where it was.
Got it.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna move around. We're gonna twist around a little bit. And here's the thing, Michael, I'm gonna need you to help now, and if you would just step up here. The reason for that is, again, we can see all the sides of the cube, and we can see the top, but we can't see the number. And what's interesting is, I have a deck of cards here, and I'm gonna take these cards out, and you'll notice something about one of the cards in this deck. What have we noticed about one of the cards?
It's green.
It's a different color. So I'm just going to take this deck and set it here. I'd like you to lift up your pocket so I can slide that in without you even seeing what the card is. And we're going to leave it sitting out just like that. Okay? That's great. All right. Thanks. We're going to get to that in just a moment. So again, you can see all the different colors and all the different numbers. Is that correct? Right. So what I need to do is to figure out what I'm going to do next. And what I'm going to do next is try to use my powers of mental interpretation to get a feel for what that number can be. Let me think.
Wake them up.
Okay, I think I've got it. So what I need to do now is mix the cards up a little bit and give them a little shuffle. like that. Now give the cards a little cut, just like that, and we'll give one more cut, just like that. And this is a deck of cards, it's all mixed up, a cube with numbers and colors on it that's all mixed up, where nobody knows what the numbers are on the bottom except you, correct? So what I want you to do now, Daryl, I'm just gonna sit down right here, and I'm gonna take your brain for a minute and use it. You remember the number that you got?
Yep.
All right. Well, I can't do anything, I'm gonna sit here. Reveal to everybody what the number is that you're remembering.
11.
Really? Take the deck in your left hand. Deal 11 cards one at a time slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. Is that the 11th card?
This is card number 11.
Did anybody other than you know what that number is on the bottom of the
No
cube?
one knew but me.
Interesting. Michael, I want you to... Wait, we'll do it the other way. Daryl, turn the card over and show it to everybody so they can see it.
Can I put
Wait.
these cards down?
Yeah, you can put those down, put that card face up, take a look at it and show it to everybody. And what is the card? Okay. I will tell you right now, I blew the trick, so I'm sorry about that. Damn it. Forgive me, I blew the trick. But what should have happened is that card that you picked matched the one that's in Michael's pocket. I'm not gonna...
So we're off by 1 or 2?
You're off by 1.
Is it
you're
this
off.
one?
No. 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 Let me tell you, no. I'm going to describe this trick to you. I did it very poorly. I did it like 15 times and it worked like a champ. There's a little mental arithmetic. There's a little mental arithmetic. And I'm sorry I blew it. I taught me a valuable lesson. But what's really interesting about this cube, this is the name of this trick is called Awesome. And basically it's like any card at any number, but with a prediction, and it uses this as a premise. This cube is completely ungimmicked, except for one thing. The numbers on the top and the numbers on the bottom total 28, no matter how this is twisted, right?
Neat.
At the beginning, I've got the first card, which is a joker, right? In this instance, the 28th card from the top. Since you give it to someone and they twist it and set it down, you don't know what the bottom number is, except that you know that the top number, you can count. In this instance, it would be 4 and 5 is 9 and 3 is 12 and that's 14, right? So knowing that, the bottom would be 14 because the 2 ties total 28.
Right.
In order for me to get the 14th card down, I've got 27 cards on top of the deck, on top of the first card. So I simply subtract, knowing that I need to take one less, and that card will be the number that they stop at when they deal down. So I apologize for this being performed horribly, but the trick is a killer trick.
Yeah.
Aw,
So where did the mistake happen? I don't quite
the mistake
follow.
happened somewhere
In the shuffle.
You shuffle
in
the
the
cards.
in the shuffling.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
how many cards were you supposed to, because you were milking them off the top.
Right.
I was watching that and you milked off 11. How many were you supposed to milk off?
I thought I was supposed to do 11, but I must have missed
No,
it.
you had 11 for your number,
Yeah.
and
so you
it-
should have milked off 17.
No, I had to get, you're absolutely correct.
Right, the reverse
Okay.
of 20.
You're right, yes, that's what I did wrong.
Yeah,
You're right, you're absolutely
so it
correct.
should have been 7.
Anyway,
To me, that's...
this
that's-
trick is a hell of a lot better and stronger than you just saw it, and that's
Yeah.
all my fault, so
It
my
can be.
But
apologies.
that would be the weakest part, would be shuffling the cards and you're just pulling one at a time.
It is, it's hard to do it so that you're not pulling
And
doubles
it's
on.
hard to back engineer that one.
Why wouldn't
When you're
you,
starting at the
why
end, you
wouldn't
know,
you
because
pick
all
a
those
number
pieces.
instead of like 27th card? Why couldn't you pick like the 15th card and then either count off the bottom or count off the top to get to where you want to be? In other words, counting off the bottom or reverse them, counting off the top or go the other way. So from 15 you count up or you count down.
I
Take
haven't-
them off the top and
And
count them down.
maybe you could, I
Yeah.
haven't Fought
I'm
through
just,
it.
I'm just thinking that if
There's
you,
other math ways to.
yeah, you
get
wouldn't have
where
to
you
cut so
wanna-
many cards.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Mark.
My experience
Yeah.
has been that mental tricks, that the outcome that happen in people's hands are very strong for
Yeah.
people. They have an
Oh, sure.
emotional
Yeah.
attachment to
Very
it.
good.
So my apologies. The other thing, I just wanted to show this to you, because it's something that really got my attention. And I'm going to pass this around so you can all see it. I saw this online because I was looking for variations on the gypsy thread trick. How many of you have performed the gypsy thread? You have, I have. This trick comes with a lifetime supply
Lifetime and your.
of gypsy
anybody else?
thread. It's called the thread of life. This is Wayne Dobson's trick. And I've got probably a gazillion different versions of it. I'm just gonna pass this around so you guys can see it. This thread breaks so easily and it snaps when it breaks. And at this point, my favorite version of the gypsy thread has been Eugene Berger's version, which I can't do because I don't have his persona. His version is very dark and dramatic and uses a candle and Hindu, gods and all this stuff like Vishnu, and I can't do that. What's interesting about this is he shows a couple of different tips and variations on it, and he uses a very long piece of thread because he says that leaves you at the end in a applause cue mode, which I thought made a hell of a lot of sense. The way that he shows you to set it up is a little different than what I've seen. It is a kind of a version of wax, and it's not used for sticking the little ball on anything, rather than holding it together and making it easier to roll up with that little wax. So anyway, I wanted you to see this. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. This comes with video instructions by Axel Hecklau. I got mine from Penguin Magic. I think it was like $60. They make a light version for $25. It comes in a little wooden Egyptian themed carrying box. One spool, small spool, and the wax. And I'm going to order that too, just for that little Egyptian box to carry the spool down. But that should
This
last.
came with it, the book came with it, right?
Yeah,
The book of
just
life.
for storage. And that coincides with the script that he wrote, and he gives you, it's, like I said, it's Wayne Dobson's.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
but
gives you
that's
the
it.
performance rights
That's nice.
to use the script he wrote, but I don't like using anybody else's script, I write my own. So,
I didn't know what you're referring to there, that's the one we always do with dental floss.
you use dental floss with?
Yeah, and then
We
you,
use the.
How do
yeah,
you
then
break
you,
dental
I
floss
actually
out?
have, I actually
get-
have the
you
person
use it-
hold the dental floss when I
Oh,
cut
to
it.
burn it over
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, I didn't
I
recognize
was gonna say,
what
if
you
you're
were
gonna pull the,
I
yeah.
like that
Or
idea
use
of
a dental
using
floss
the snap
container.
thread though.
Oh,
I would like
I
that,
Like
I
the
think,
candle that would.
a lot,
That's an interesting
but the
idea.
dental floss is just so,
You
so
follow
deceptive,
it up.
you know.
Use the
You
dental
pull out
floss
maybe this
container
much,
that has
maybe
the
this
cutter
much,
on
and you
it,
cut it off,
then you
and
pull
have
off a
somebody
bunch
else
of
hold
pieces
it.
and you
I
cut
like
them as
that
you
routine
pull
a
them
lot.
off.
You guys
I
see
guess
this?
it's waxy,
I'm
so
gonna
it's sort
have
of,
a
Yeah.
meeting in our house, my house.
Really,
in
really
October.
works nice, I love that.
And for those
Never heard
who
of that.
could make it, and I hope you all do, you'll see that I've got a huge bag full of threads that I've accumulated over the years. Just, you name it, every kind of threads. And this is the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, I
Because I've
haven't
seen
used,
a lot.
I seen the snap, which is sort of nice. I guess there are a lot of different ways of doing everything.
oh, yeah,
so.
yeah, I can see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So my
Thank you.
apologies for that bum performance.
Thanks,
No, it's okay, it's
Well,
just,
bring it
Yeah,
back next time.
it's
and do
just
it
as fun
again.
to watch it
No,
this way
bring
as
it
it
back
is to
next
watch
month
it
and do it again.
Maybe we should have a meeting on that some night, would be fun to
Yeah,
have
to sit
everybody
here and
doing
watch it.
versions, cause I do the same one with the dental floss, cause it's
Michael,
all
sit.
set up, and you got the little sharp thing to cut it, and
I
I've
remember,
done it with.
That's the one I do
um,
most
I
of the time.
remember
too.
years ago when we did those things in my house,
Yeah.
Bruce Hetzler did that
Yeah.
with the dental floss, he blew my mind.
Yeah, totally. It
Oh,
was so simple, but yet, and
I think Dan Harlan introduced it that way. I believe it
I've
was.
done it at my corporate gigs, and I've come across dentists or orthodontists that I were performing for while I taught them the trick. I was
Yeah.
like, well, I got to teach you this, we'll
Yeah.
do it, and it was kind of
Yeah.
normally you don't
Nice thing,
do
nice
that,
thing
or I
about
didn't,
that
but
is
I
you have
taught
them
him
hold
how
it.
to do
Yeah.
it, and he, whether or not he ever did it or not,
Yeah.
but they were blown away with it, especially when they
Yeah.
dental floss, you
It's,
know.
it's nice when they're
Steel
holding a
wire.
dental floss and you're just cutting off, they're holding it, you know, that makes it, gets them involved.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I make my next dentist appointment.
There you
I'm gonna
go.
do that.
I got one coming up, I just had a tooth break
Yeah,
on
it's so
me, so
cool.
that's nice. And then, I do Tony Clark's with the balloon, the helium balloon.
I don't know if I know that.
Oh, haven't you? You seen that
Never.
one? It is a cool effect. It really, it made sense to me. It gave me bigger meaning, like, because you have a balloon, you walk out with a balloon.
Yeah.
And, it's a helium balloon on a string. Well, you start talking about things, you know, the ring, you know, something, or whatever, you know. I was doing it in my fair shows, so I did a thing where you're talking about fairs and what you find. Oh, there's the food. And then you get down to here, and you're holding on to the balloon, and the thread is here, and you take
We'll
that,
put it back on.
and then you
the
go like that, and then you can hand it. I've handed it to people. And then it's sitting
board. Or
there.
let them go, yeah.
And he even has recorded music with it, and I've even chopped that up
That's a
and
cute
used
idea.
that.
I like that.
And then you just, at the raise of it, you can blow on it or
Yeah.
tell them, just give it a little, and then all of a sudden it just automatically goes up and they're holding the balloon like, what the heck?
I always have them take the end and I say, now pull slowly, and it starts coming, I say, oh, stop a second. And I pretend like I'm doing a couple of those things. Okay, continue. And then they continue, one, whatever. I can see, you know, it's sort of a neat effect. But you know, now that you mentioned, I haven't done that in a long time. There's so many neat
That would be
routines we
fun.
used to do all the time, Arthur, and then you just sort of forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, thanks Rick. Who wants to go next? We just go, we'll just work side,
Work in
right down
order.
the side here.
Alright.
Volunteers only.
I don't know if I've done this one for you guys before. I apologize, but I've been working on it a little bit. I got it to work. So we'll see if I get it to work tonight.
Very nice.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, that
boys
was
and girls,
good.
kids, we've been talking about magic tonight, but we're now going to talk about carnival, sideshow, and con man. I'm a con man. I'm sorry, I'm not a con man. I'm a fair goer, and I've got in this box something that's marvelous, that's miracle, that's, you're going to want it, but you're not going to get it because it belongs to me. And we were talking about tonight artificial intelligence. I'm sorry, that's real intelligence. Artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is going to take people's jobs. It's going to write stuff. It's going to change the world. But it didn't just start last week. Been working on artificial intelligence for decades, right? To get that far. And they threw away stuff as they're going along. But I bought a piece of technology from artificial intelligence back in the beginning. It's not in these current ones. No, no. This little bit is from the old days. And I'm going to show it to you tonight. You're going to go home and you're going to tell your kids, you're going to tell your sons, you're going to tell your mother-in-laws, you're going to tell everybody about it, but I don't, because we don't want to scare them. Artificial intelligence has a conscious. What is consciousness? That's yourself, that's your thinking, right? There's a spark of that in this little box. Just a spark. Otherwise it would be in the current AI. So, let's bring it out. A little bit of technology. Have you seen this before? You're nodding your head?
I've seen, I know the effect. It's, yeah.
So, back in the day, technology was simplistic, like this. In fact, I have some markers